Hello, Internet! Welcome to another episode of Bazzle Spot Live. I am indeed still Mr. Anderson, and I hope you enjoyed the little interlude that we had in our week yesterday with that game that I just did without recording, and just thought I'd show you it back, just play it back, just because I thought the horn leech at the end was quite a funky little play to make. But let's see what we can get today, because for all the moaning that I did about my low-tech not doing anything, Driftbloom hasn't done anything for us this week so far. But then again, this week so far has consisted of pretty much two live videos. So I'm not worrying too much. I've done about between 10 and 15 games on Showdown with Driftbloom, and it has actually done quite a lot for me. But that's on Showdown. But what are we going to do here? Because actually, Raichu Tapu Koko is not something that you see that often anymore. Like, this is the sort of team that you'd imagine seeing, right at the beginning of the format, actually. But it's still a little bit scary, to be honest. Raichu and Koko. So, what are we going to do here, actually? What is my plan against these Raichu Tapu Koko teams? Because I can't really let him get his terrain, but I don't know, so I'll lead with Smeargle. I want Tapu Lele in the back, but what do I want to lead with? Trevenant? Trevenant looks okay here, to be honest. Outside of, I suppose, Hurricanes and Muck. Could go with Xurkitree, because those who don't really threaten Xurkitree too much. Yeah, we'll go with these. We'll go with Tapu Lele. And do we want Arcanine in the back? He has got the Pelipper. Well, he has got the Muck as well. I think we do want Arcanine, just because we want a little bit of a extra bit of coverage for Muck. We have got the Z move on Arcanine. An Inferno Overdrive will do a lot of damage to it. So we'll go with these four. These are the four that I am most comfortable with. They are like 4 of the 5 original Pokemon, I guess, on this team. I guess I've changed a few of them up and tried different things in their places a few times, but he's actually going with his Timid, Koko, and Muck, which is definitely interesting. Didn't expect that. Okay. So, Electric Surge, and I mean, Xurkitree looks okay here. I mean, worst case, he knocks off my Xurkitree because I've got the Citrus Berry, I guess. Or maybe if he's got Taunt, he taunts the Smeargle. That would be very good. But feeling okay here. I mean, I could go for a Fake Out into the Muck, to be honest. I mean, the Muck might be feeling a bit more threatened, so he might withdraw the Muck into Raichu, though. That's what I'm thinking. So, what do we think? Like, I feel like I'm in such a good position here, but I need to take advantage of it. I am just going to Fake Out into the Koko and Tail Glow here. Muck, like I said, worst case scenario, he knocks off my Citrus Berry, he taunts the Smeargle. He doesn't switch, he doesn't protect with either. So let's see, Koko flinches, Tail Glow. So Muck is very threatened next turn, but we'll see what it's going to do now. It is knock off, and it is into the Xurkitree. Okay. So, I've lost my Citrus Berry. That's not good, because it means Dazzling Gleam could knock us out now. It means... Dazzling Gleam. I think it would have to be Specs for it to knock me out, but... I don't know. And I obviously could just go for a Wide Guard as well, but like it could be in maybe a Thunderbolt range, like if he is Specs as well. So I'm actually going to go for a Wide Guard. I think if anything he will go for a Dazzling Gleam. But do I want to Thunderbolt into the Muck, or do I want to Thunderbolt and knock out the Koko? Which one do I want to knock out? I have got my own Tapu Lele in the back, actually, so I want to Thunderbolt this Muck. Just want to get rid of the Muck. Or try to, at least. Because then Tapu Lele can come in and Psychic, Outspeed, and potentially knock out the thingy just there. Ooh, he's got a Shadow Sneak. Is he Shadow Sneaking and Thunderbolting? Is he Shadow Sneaking and Gigavolt Havocing? I think he might be. In which case, we've just lost a lot of points. Okay. Well, that's not good. I mean, he could be doing this onto the Smeargle, but you'd have to expect. Oh, he's onto the Smeargle. Okay, so I'll definitely take that. But I thought. I mean, obviously, I thought he would Dazzling Gleam there, but I don't know. That was risky from him because Follow Me on Smeargle is a lot more common than Wide Guard. So Smeargle just had a dead turn there. Smeargle did absolutely nothing there. If he brings in Raichu now, then I'm still in a bit of a problematic situation, you could say. I guess, I don't know, what would I do there? Protect Xurkitree, let Smeargle go down, bring in Lele. Then he could maybe Encore if he's got that. Just a Psychic even would probably knock out my Xurkitree from here too. But no, he just brings in this Celesteela, which is interesting. Okay. So Xurkitree is definitely in Dazzling Gleam range now. It's definitely in Thunderbolt range now as well. We have got Lily, we have got Arcanine in the back. So the two things that I've got in the back do threaten both of these things he's got here. So what I'm going to do actually is go for... I'm protecting Xurkitree here, but I'm thinking, do I go for a Follow Me as well, just to make sure Smeargle does go down, or do I actually just go for a Spore into the Celesteela, just in case he thinks that he can be cheeky and substitute? But then, if he does do that, we'll be in a sticky situation next turn as well. But we have got Arcanine, so Xurkitree is not massively important in this match at the moment, I don't think. He actually withdraws his Tapu Koko for Garchomp. Okay, well, this worked out alright for us then, I think. So we are Sporing, yeah, we are Sporing into the Celesteela. Interesting move by him. He has used his Z move, hasn't he, with Gigavolt Havoc, so will this Garchomp Dragon Claw my Xurkitree? I don't know. Well, I'm going to go for a Wide Guard here, and I'm going to hope Xurkitree survives, and now do I Thunderbolt into the Celesteela, or do I go for a Dazzling Gleam here? Because, I mean, we have got both Lele and Arcanine in the back, so if we knock out Garchomp, then I suppose if we knock out Garchomp, that means that Lele can lock into Psychic instead of Moonblast, doesn't it? I'll go for a Dazzling Gleam here. That is hoping that his Garchomp doesn't have Dragon Claw or Poison Jab, maybe critical hitting, or maybe even just knocking out Xurkitree from where it is. It is Poison Jab. Does this knock us out? It does, yeah, okay. Well, I was unsure about that, but that's unfortunate, but I still think we're in an okay position. Or are we? I'm going to put in Tapu Lele, because I can Moonblast and Follow Me, but we're not in the best of positions, but we're not in the worst of positions. This has been quite a scrappy, quite a tricky game, hasn't it, this one? So I've got to go for a Follow Me, just in case the Celesteela wakes up, and a Moonblast now into the Garchomp, hoping that it's not Assault Vested, hoping that this will knock it out, or Focus Sash, you never know, at this point. So Garchomp just protect there. If Celesteela wakes up now, wouldn't be the end of the world, because we would get a free switch into Arcanine. But then his Tapu Koko becomes a little bit more of a problem. So he does wake up, and he does Flash Cannon actually into this Smeargle. So some interesting moves here. But like I'm saying, I'm thinking that we're alright. I mean, he doesn't know because he protected there. He doesn't know that we're Scarfed. We are going to be losing our terrain though by the end of the game, so there is that. And I mean, I could go for a Helping Hand Moonblast into the Garchomp just to ensure the knockout, but I have to target the Celesteela here because otherwise it is intimidated, but I don't want to risk it. Oh, it's got Flash Cannon, hasn't it? So that shouldn't be knocking out my Tapu Lele. But even still, I'm not going to risk a critical hit. I am just going to go straight for the Inferno Overdrive into Celesteela and a Moonblast into the Garchomp. Because the Garchomp is intimidated as well, even if it does survive, if it is Assault Vested. It shouldn't be knocking out either of a Pokemon with Earthquake. The only problem would be it could be putting our Pokemon into Thunderbolt range. But maybe a Helping Hand Moonblast. Well, that should knock out the Tapu Koko, shouldn't it? But he's bringing in the Koko now. Is this Celesteela protecting? Because I feel like I've got him pinched into a position that he can't win from, but I don't want to, I don't want to count my chickens just yet, because the combination of this Inferno Overdrive through Protect and Flare Blitz should still knock out his Celesteela, I think. He can't Intimidate either of my Pokemon. So next turn I can just go for a Moonblast and a Flare Blitz. Then maybe if he protects his Koko and brings in his Garchomp, then we might be in some issues. Yeah, that's the only problem. And he could easily do that. He really could easily do that. So it is leftovers. So do I want to predict that? Do I actually want to predict that? Because, like, his Garchomp... I mean, I suppose the risk of predicting and getting this wrong is he Thunderbolts one of my Pokemon. If he does do what I'm thinking, worst case scenario, he is going to do, I would still have to target the Garchomp with a Moonblast. He would still just get one Thunderbolt onto one of my Pokemon. So I'm just going to go for the very obvious, very safe moves. Flare Blitz into Celesteela and Moonblast into the Tapu Koko. But I think he'll do it. I think he'll Protect and Switch. I think it's the obvious, straightforward thing to do. Oh, or not. Okay. So maybe he's hoping... I mean, it's not Ockerberry, because we've just seen him take 25 of the Inferno Overdrive damage. So he must be hoping that he can take this Flare Blitz. And he can't, thankfully, yeah. So, I mean, this Arcanine has got quite a lot of attack invested into it. So, I would have been surprised if it had survived there. But, yeah, thankfully. This, I mean... This game could have been over straight away if he actually went for his Gigavolt Havoc into my Xurkitree, couldn't it? But thankfully he didn't do that. So, you know, I mean, I say we've been lucky. It's not luck if it's the opponent that, you know, doesn't do the correct thing. But thankfully, yeah, it's not Focus Sash, that is it. But yeah, we've thankfully won this game, and we can continue climbing. Phew, I mean, that was quite a scary game. And I suppose at this point where, you know, I suppose not too many people have done many games on BattleSpot. There's a few people starting at 1,500, like that chap just there. You know, losing to them can lose you quite a few points. But, I mean, it's not that I'm very high. I mean, I don't think I'm even at 1,600 yet, am I? So, you know, I can't really complain too much. But let's march on and see what we can get. So, let's see. And Drifblim still didn't do anything, did it? Maybe Drifblim, this is going to be your game next. I mean, I have had some games where Drifblim has actually, you know, done lots for us. I mean, hopefully you can see the sense of having Drifblim on this team. It does work with Tapu Lele. It is nice to have a ground immunity, you know, a ground resist. But this... Oh, well, this... This looks scary, to be honest. Trevenant looks really nice here, because it can't be spored by Parasect. You know, it does look really nice, aside from Hurricane from Pelipper. And maybe if his Oranguru has got Foul Play, which isn't that common, but does happen sometimes. So definitely I want Trevenant here, and I definitely want to lead with Smeargle here as well. But I think I want to lead with Trevenant here too, just because I want the turn where he goes for his Trick Room. Because I might not be able to stop Trick Room if he goes for a Rage Powder or a Follow Me. So I want this turn to get up my boosts, basically. And all Trevenant really has to worry about is Foul Play and Hurricane from Pelipper, I think. So we'll go with these. And what else do we want, actually? I mean, I think Xurkitree is nice here as well. But, like, he's got 3 water Pokemon. So I'm not sure Arcanine is going to be too helpful here. But Tapu Lele is Scarfed too, so not really sure. Drifblim hasn't got Protect. And A little bit conflicted here, but I am going to go with Tapu Lele. Yeah, I think I will. I mean, if Arcanine had Roar on it, then... Well, I suppose if he does use, Lucario with Follow Me or Rage Powder, I wouldn't be able to roar away his... I suppose a Fake Out in a Roar, but then he could double protect, couldn't he? And, oh no, I can roar him through protect. Maybe if I do find... And he probably is going to go for a Rage Powder here. If I do find that I'm having problems with hard Trick Room teams, then maybe I will put Roar on Arcanine. That is definitely a consideration. So Focus Sash and Mental Herb. Okay. So, fair enough. We can assume that the Parasect has got Rain Dish on it as well. Dry Skin, that's it, isn't it? Dry Skin. I mean, if he goes for a Rage Powder here, then I'm just going to be sporing into the Parasect. So, yeah, I can't really do anything to stop that. Kinda. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go for a Fake Out into the Parasect. Hopefully no Effect Spore. And I'm going to go for a Z Forest Curse into my own Smeargle. Now, this is what I would do anyway, but the added bonus of making Smeargle part Grass type is he can't Spore me. So no, there is no Effect Spore because we're assuming he's thingy. And he's also not an Amoonguss. So, there's that. But, we're going to get a boost here. He's going to get his Trick Room up, but he cannot Spore my Smeargle now. So, some added bonus of Forest Curse here, which is quite nice, actually. So he does get Trick Room. It does mean that if he's got X-Scissor, then that's going to be super effective on my Smeargle now. But I'm actually going to go for a Spore into the Oranguru because another bonus, he can't redirect me with, Rage Powder. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go for I'm going to Horn Leech into the Oranguru as well, actually. Just because, well, I want some damage on it, but he might switch the Oranguru into something. One of his Trick Room Sweepers, maybe. Maybe it would make more sense for him to switch his Parasect into a Trick Room Sweeper, but I don't know. I mean, surely he knows what Forest Curse does. He actually just goes for a Giga Drain, so I guess he doesn't have X-Scissor, which is nice. I'm resisting that now, thanks to the Grass typing on Smeargle. And Rain Dance. Alright then. Well, that's definitely interesting. Maybe he hasn't brought his Pelipper then. Which means, if he's not brought his Pelipper, that means Trevenant really can just, sit through his team. So, it doesn't do half, unfortunately, but doesn't matter too much. We can Spore the Oranguru there. Now, the dilemma now is Smeargle being part Grass type is actually really nice. So I might want to just keep it in here. I don't really want to risk switching Smeargle into, Xurkitree, for example, and going for a Forest Curse on that as well, which would mean that you couldn't Spore, the Xurkitree too, but I don't want him to either not realise he can't Spore into Smeargle, or just predict that and go for a Spore into the Smeargle. So I'm going to keep Smeargle in, and I'm going to go for a Spore into his Parasect. Now, Parasect did just Giga Drain into Smeargle. It did nothing. That Parasect can probably do nothing at the moment. So, I'm thinking that the Parasect is going to switch out. I'm going to go for another Horn Leech onto the Oranguru as well, because that'll restrict his options of... Yes, call that one. Restrict his options of setting Trick Room up again in the future. So Oranguru can't wake up because this is its guaranteed turn of sleep. Horn Leech into the Oranguru. It might even knock it out. In fact, I would probably hope, or not hope, I would probably prefer it didn't knock the Oranguru there, to be honest. Just because it wasn't really doing anything. It still only had a 1 in 3 chance of waking up. I suppose if it had Foul Play there, then that could have been the problem. But the Araquanid has got a guaranteed sleep the next turn. Parasect is doing nothing. Biggest problem is if he has actually got Pelipper and he brings it in now. But he doesn't. It's just the Parasect again. Okay. Well, I'm not... Parasect can do nothing. It can't Rage Powder either of my Pokemon. They're both Grass types. Giga Drain is, the only attack that it's shown so far. It's bound to have, surely, Spore as well. I mean, I'm making assumptions here. He might have wide guard too. So this Parasect is doing absolutely nothing. So I will. I mean, yeah, Smeargle's doing nothing this turn, is it? Absolutely nothing. So I'm actually going to Spore into the Araquanid and Horn Leech into the Araquanid as well. I don't think he'll switch his Araquanid out this turn, but yeah, Smeargle's not doing anything. He can't wake up. I can't Rage Powder anything from the Parasect anyway. Oh, is that Sleep Talk? Oh, dearie me. Well, I did not expect that. Okay, well, worst case scenario, if he got maybe a Liquidation onto the Smeargle in Rain, even though I'm resisting it, that might have knocked me out, but that would have given me a free switch into something else. So it wouldn't have been the worst case scenario. He did actually Sleep Talk a Protect there, which is definitely interesting. I mean, this is the last turn of Trick Room, and I'm not going to take any chances, actually. I'm just going to go for a Follow Me here. And I wonder how that works, like, with Sleep Turns. Like, does that count as a Sleep Turn? Because he used Sleep Talk there. I think it does count as a Sleep Turn, doesn't it? Surely. So, I am just going to go for a Horn Leech, again, into the Araquanid. I am Follow Me-ing here, again. Well, not again. I'm doing it just to be safe now, just in case he either wakes up or goes for Sleep Talk and gets, you know, something. Bug Bite or something, I don't know. Bug Bite, I suppose, would knock out the Smeargle from here. But Sleep Talk again. And it is Scald. Okay, so it's a special one. So we are resisting this. This might not knock us out, but it does. So we are in Rain. That will be the boost that allowed him to knock us out there. Giga Drain again is doing nothing. But now I can... Well, I can bring in my Circuitry, but now Parasect is actually going to be able to do something. And that is a nice chunk of damage onto the Araquanid there. So, feeling good at this point. I mean, it was Focus Sash, so whatever we do, we can't knock out, unless we double into it, we can't knock out the Parasect. But I do need to target that, the Araquanid, just because it might wake up and go for, like, a Hydro Vortex in the Rain. Would do a lot of damage to Trevenant, even though it is +1 and resisted, it would do a lot of damage. So, I mean, we don't know what he's got in the back, do we? I was fearing Pelipper. So worst case scenario, it's Pelipper. That means Circuitry is more important. So we'll put the Tapu Lele out. And he will probably just Spore into the Tapu Lele here. But, you know, like I'm saying, Circuitry is potentially more important if worst case scenario he has got Pelipper in the back. So, and if he has got Pelipper, it's actually not Focus Sash, is it? Because we frisked the Parasect. So there we go. I remember. Frisk did something again. And yeah, we'll just go for a Psychic into the Parasect. And I mean, I'll actually look what he's got, or potentially got. Yeah, so nothing's going to want to take a Psychic here. What's this guy's rating? 1000. He's won some games. Okay. So yeah, we'll go for a Psychic into the Parasect and another Horn Leech into the Araquanid. Just being safe. I don't think there's any way that he can win this. Yeah, he's just actually forfeited. So, because it's forfeited, why don't we look for a third game then? We are, you know, almost 24 minutes in. So if it's a long game, this is going to be a long video. But it's Wednesday, and it used to be the tradition, I suppose, didn't it? Getting 3 games on Wednesday. So let's carry on with that tradition. No, we would not like to save that. But that was an interesting game. And that is honestly the first time that Forest Cursing my Smeargle has worked out so well, in that it's allowed us to avoid Rage Powders and Spores and things like that too. So that was pretty cool. I quite like that. That was a good showing. But we find another Japanese player from Tokyo with, oh no, with this. I say oh no because, you know, for how much I've used Elegant and Torkoal myself, I really don't like playing against it with this team. I feel like I'm pretty weak to it. So, I don't know. What are we going to do? Like, we don't know how fast his Mimikyu is either. Like, if it's fast with Taunt, then that would be pretty bad as well. Okay, well, how shall we go about this? I think we definitely want to lead with Smeargle, but Smeargle and Xurkitree? Like, this is where Assault Vest Arcanine would have been quite nice too, to take, you know, Eruptions and Snarl and do all that lot too. Smeargle and, like, I'm thinking Tapu Lily, but then I can't fake out anything. Smeargle and Xurkitree, I guess. I do definitely want Arcanine in this match, but Arcanine and Tapu Lele, I guess. We'll go with these four, but I don't like this matchup. I really don't like playing against this sort of, you know, Torkoal Lilligant team. So we'll see what happens. We'll play through it, obviously, but a bit scared about this one. Alright, so I mean, if he just leads Torkoal Lilligant, which he does do, then there's not really too much that I can do here, really. I mean, I can fake out the Lilligant, obviously, and just go for a Thunderbolt into the Torkoal, but he could easily just double protect. He hasn't got Lele on his own team, though, so he can't, like, there's no mind game of, you know, what's going to happen here. And I will Thunderbolt into the Torkoal to reduce Eruption damage. He might just go straight for a Heat Wave, though, instead. He might just double protect, which is, in fact, what he is. Well, he's protecting his Torkoal. But the Fake Out does come out into Lilligant, so any sashes are broken there. But now we've got some horrible mind games. You know, does he Sleep Powder? Does he, after you Erupt? If he Sleep Powders, surely he Sleep Powders into the Smeargle. That's what I would think. So, I don't know. If he Sleep Powders into the Xurkitree and I protect it, then fantastic. If he goes for an after you Eruption, if I'm protecting my Xurkitree, then good, I can put the Torkoal to sleep with Spore. Worst case scenario here is, because I'm going for a Spore into the Torkoal and protecting, worst case scenario is he goes for a Sleep Powder into my Smeargle and it hits. So if he gets this call right, there's 75% chance that this goes really right for him. But it is after you, an Eruption. Okay, so I don't mind that so much because I'm going down to my Sash here. But he's having a guaranteed sleep turn next turn. So, yeah, that's not so bad. But we're still not in the best of positions, to be honest, really. We have got Arcanine. We have got Tapu Lele too. I'm thinking of going for a Follow Me and a Thunderbolt into the Torkoal, just to get some, you know, guaranteed damage onto it, but I don't know, a Tail Glow? Follow Me Tail Glow? I'm not sure. I'm just going to get some damage onto the Torkoal here. I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt into it, hoping that he doesn't have Sleep Powder. You know, not all Lilligant actually have Sleep Powder. So, follow me. And it is Sleep Powder, and he does hit as well. That's really not good, because it means that we've got a guaranteed sleep turn with our Smeargle next turn. Is Torkoal? Yeah, it took a decent amount from that. But he can just Sleep Powder into my Xurkitree now, can't he? Smeargle. What do we want to do here? The Sun is out for 2 more turns. Oh, this is not good. I don't like a taste of my own medicine, do I, being put to sleep? I'm thinking about bringing Arcanine in, because then when Sun goes down, I can outspeed and knock out the Lilligant. But yeah, I'm going to bring in Arcanine. I'm actually going to do it. And I'm not going to protect. I'm going to go for a Thunderbolt into the Torkoal. Because if he does put me to sleep, then I will have a 1 in 3 chance to wake up the next turn. If he doesn't put me to sleep, hopefully he doesn't have Bloom Doom to knock me out. I'm not sure about the calculation of Leaf Storm. If he has got Leaf Storm, he might actually just be able to knock out my Xurkitree. But no, he does go for the Sleep Powder, and he does hit it again, which is not very good for us. Torkoal's got a 1 in 3 chance of waking up here, which it doesn't. Okay, at least there's that. And now my Arcanine is definitely going to protect on this last turn of Sun. So protect and Xurkitree. 1 in 3 chance of waking up. I'm going to try and Thunderbolt into the Torkoal. Maybe I could be trying to protect here, because this is the last turn of Sun. Nilligant does become less of a problem after this turn. But Xurkitree does stay asleep. So that's my 1 in 3 burnt. Torkoal does wake up and goes for a Heat Wave. Does this knock out Xurkitree? No, it doesn't. Okay. So, we know that his Nilligant doesn't have a Sash. We know that Sunlight has gone down, which is very good. We know that Arcanine will be faster, because I am Jolly, and knock out the Nilligant. But, you know, he could try and switch around this, and he should do, I suppose. Like, you know, just protect his Nilligant and bring his Torkoal out, I suppose. Xurkitree's got a 50-50 chance of waking up here. I'm hoping that it wakes up and knocks out his Torkoal. Because he does actually leave his Nilligant in, which is fantastic. Maybe he thought he'd be faster than Arcanine. Because Arcanine, you know, a lot of them are bulky and slow. So, good. Good that fast Arcanine did some work there. Xurkitree, will you wake up for us? No. Okay, well, we're not in the sun anymore. So, a Heat Wave might not knock us out. Oh, it doesn't. And he can't burn this because we're asleep. Good. Okay. So, he has still got the Oranguru and Snorlax and Mimikyu and everything that can cause us problems in the back as well. Yeah, this is Oranguru coming in, and is probably just going to go for a Protect and Trick Room. And because I haven't got Roar on my Arcanine, I can't stop it, can I? No, I can't. And then he can just Instruct and Heat Wave, I guess. I mean, my Arcanine can probably take some. Unless, actually, an Inferno Overdrive. I didn't actually consider this Inferno Overdrive until the one actually knocking his Oranguru out. It's just that Xurkitree hasn't got any boosts. Because, you know, on Mondays we got a really nice Helping Hand +4 Thunderbolt off, didn't we? This time we haven't got any boosts on Xurkitree, so we're going to just do it the old-fashioned way, just by attacking. I'm thinking that Torkoal should protect you, but it's not. He's not protecting here. Alright, well, that's not the end of the world, as long as we do knock this Oranguru out. So, hopefully there's no Citrus Berry, which it can have sometimes. Hopefully it's not Mental Herb. Hopefully it is Metal Herb, rather, instead. But, let's see the damage. Oh, it's going to be close. Come on, Xurkitree. Okay, good. But a Heat Wave will just knock out my Xurkitree here. If it hits. Heat Wave. We we got the wrong one there, but oh well. So he's down to his last 2 Pokemon. We don't know what it is though, and I'm in a way effectively down to my last 2 Pokemon as well. I'm just a little bit scared if it's Snorlax or Mimikyu, I suppose. We will put out the Tapu Lele though, just because we want to try and, you know, keep this momentum going. Smurgle, I can't remember, but I don't think it's used any sleep turns yet. So yeah, I did think it might be Snorlax. And I'm alright with this because I think I'm alright with this, anyway. I might actually not be alright with this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to withdraw the Arcanine into the Smurgle, because we do want an Intimidate in the future. And I'm going to Psychic, obviously, into the Torkoal. If the Torkoal protects here, which it obviously could do, Snorlax isn't going to be able to one-shot Lele in one hit, unless it's got Heavy Slam, but they don't normally have Heavy Slam. So as long as he doesn't get a double protect and doesn't have Heavy Slam, I think we should be okay here. And he actually just forfeits 2, yeah. which is nice because we are approaching 35 minutes. So a super long video here, but no, I'm really glad that I did manage to beat the Toko Lilligan. I think he could have played it a bit better, honestly, and he did hit his sleep powders too. But you can't really complain about, that it is 75% after all, which is 3 and 4, obviously. But there we go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please like and share, and support my channel, all the rest of it. And goodbye for now.